Week 15 in the National Football League, World of Matchups. Blue Milk Boys Gaming, my man Spencer the Wiz on the other side. Had a good week last week. My best bet hit, and I'm feeling good about that. I'm feeling good about taking some wins because, my record on this show has not been good this year compared to what it was last year. But that being said, I'm looking to start stacking some wins moving into the playoffs. And I really like this one this week. I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals, who are playing at a very high level right now. The Cincinnati Bengals could go back to the Super Bowl. I can't even believe I'm saying it, but it's absolutely true. And Joe Burrow's playing at a very high level right now. They are feeling very, very confident. That's the only team that can really give Kansas City any real trouble. I mean, he has stared Patrick Mahomes down 3 straight times in the last calendar year. I like what their coach is doing. Jamar Chase is God. T. Higgins may or may not play. I think he'll be on the field, though. That's kind of weird how T. Higgins ended up not on the field last week. It was weird. They didn't announce him as being unhealthy until the game started. So all you fantasy managers who got burned on that's BS. Coaches, fall back. You guys got to do a better job of letting people know where your players are. All that being said, he's still good. I'm not sure if Tyler Boyd will be out there. I'm pretty sure Joe Mixon will be back. But here's the key for me with the Cincinnati Bengals. That this is the same thing that happened last year with them, Spencer. Their defense is playing really well, bro. Their defense is playing good. Have you ever seen a team whose defense is playing as well as their defense is playing this year late and last year late not get their flowers?
Yeah, playing their best football at the best time of the year.
Every single year, they turn it on at the right time. Just when I'm ready to bury them, they turn it on. So I'm taking them -3.5 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Conversely, the Buccaneers are in shambles. They are,
terrible.
man.
They're not a good
They're
team.
horrible,
They
bro.
just play in the worst division in football. That's it.
They just have the GOAT on their team. They're horrible. They're not even as good as the Jameis Winston-led Buccaneers. I'm sorry. Mike Evans has been a no-show all year. Chris Godwin, who's coming off a major injury, is your best player right now. Leonard Fournette is done. Rachaad White is good, but they don't really use him the way that they need to. They're still trying to force Cheeseburger Lenny back in there. The defense is old. They're slow. Tristan Wirfs is on again, off again, hurt. You can tell that Todd Bowles is a deer in headlights. Todd Bowles is a defensive coordinator. That is Tom Brady's team. Tom Brady is the coach. And let's be honest, if the Saints had any sense in their head, they would have won that game versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if the Rams had any kind of decent coaching, they prevented themselves from winning that game versus Tampa Bay too. In my mind, that's 2 more losses they should have had, which makes them even worse than they are. They are the perennial fool's gold team of the National Football League, and don't be gassed off that 3.5. Don't let that hook scare you. If you're a pussy, buy that half point. But I'm telling you, man, the Bengals should smash this team. Tom Brady looks old. Tom Brady is slow. They can't protect him anymore. They got demolished by the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I know the 49ers could go to the Super Bowl. 49ers have number 1 defense in the National Football League. They have Christian McCaffrey. They have great players. And I get all that. But you're not looking at any slouches on the Cincinnati Bengals sideline either. This is a good team. I know it's a road game, and I know home dogs pay dividends. I just don't trust the Buccaneers, man. To me, they just galvanize nothing. Those guys look like they're ready to go to Cancun. They really do. They just want the season to be over. This is one of the years where you just put the season behind you. You know Tom Brady's going to find his way to the Raiders. He's going to find his way to San Francisco. He is out of there, man. That's what he does. He milks the team. He gets the ring, and he's gone. You know, he broomed his wife. He broomed his family to still play, so you know he's going to play. Don't even be surprised if he's not on the Colts. He will not be a Buccaneer next year, and he can't wait to get out of there. His legacy is getting tarnished every single snap he takes for this team, and I think they get their shit pushed in on Sunday. I love the Bengals here to win that at least by a touchdown because that team is a team full of frauds. Let's roll.
Yeah, I mean, when you already have rumors of Tom Brady leaving the team for his next team next year, it tells you a lot about this season, doesn't it?
He's going to pull a Deion Sanders, man. He's out of there.
LeBron does the same thing.
He's out of there.
He goes to the team, he gets the ring, and
he's gone,
sucks the life out of him. And he goes to the next team to do the same thing.
And I'm not hating him for doing that because I will never, ever, ever be against a man or an athlete or anyone who wants to better themselves and better their legacy and get money. Dude, you're giving your life to the sport. So don't get me wrong. I just don't think they're any good. And I've been saying this all year long. They're not any good. And they're posting up like they're good. That division is garbage. Garbage. And I think if I hope they have to face the Eagles, because the way they treated the Eagles last year was shameful. And the Eagles are going to push their shit in if they make it in the playoffs. But I don't even think they will be, because they're losing this week. I think they'll lose next week too. That team was a bunch of frauds.
Yeah.
Pick.
I'm gonna make myself even more vulnerable. So I talk about how I'm not a week to week bettor, and I just kind of believe in my philosophies about these teams. So earlier in another episode, I took Tennessee over the Chargers, and going on that same trend, I'm going to take the Cowboys -4 over the Jaguars. So once again, going for the Titans and against the Jaguars. But I don't know. I just don't think that the Jaguars are that good. They benefited greatly from like 4 turnovers from Tennessee, and Tennessee was still almost was in that game at the end.
Yeah.
They had a chance to even like tie it up after a touchdown. So I just think that Dallas has bigger goals than the Jacksonville Jaguars right now. Now, the Cowboys did burn me earlier in one of my best bets against the Packers. But again, you never know. I mean, this Cowboys team is looking good right now. They're clicking on all cylinders. We've seen the Cowboys blow the hinges off some of these teams' doors. And I just think if Jacksonville gets behind early, they're not coming back. They just don't have that yet. Now, Trevor Lawrence is playing some great football. I think he has like the best passer rating in the NFL over the last like 3 or 4 weeks. So he's playing his best ball right now, which is good, as they're sort of chasing the Tennessee Titans as it is right now. So Tennessee, loses. This would be a prime spot for the Jaguars to slide even another game closer and maybe get that disgusting playoff spot for another bad division that they play in. But I don't think it's going to happen. I just see that the Cowboys, they're clicking on all cylinders. They're a healthy team right now, as far as I can tell. Everyone who they need to be there seems to be there, and they're playing good football. So I'll take a short line. -4 is too short for a bad Jaguars team, against the Cowboys. So that's what I'm taking this week.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, when was the last time you saw Jacksonville put together 2 good performances in a row?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you when the last time that happened was. And while Trevor Lawrence, in my mind, is him, he is going up against a group of killers. That Dallas defense is – I'm trying to figure out which defense is better, them or San Francisco. And I hope those 2 teams end up meeting. I really do, because both of those teams' defenses are better than the Eagles' defense in my mind. And I think they're going to throw everything they possibly can, all kinds of different looks at Trevor Lawrence. And I don't think that Travis Etienne has been consistent enough really lately.
No,
to
14
keep
carries,
that,
17 yards. How is it even physically possible?
It's not even, how is it possible to keep that Dallas defense off balance, which means they're going to have to throw a lot. And Dallas's bread and butter is picking balls off. They want the ball in the air. Micah Parsons is going to make himself very comfortable in that backfield. And I love Dallas here. I think the key for Dallas here is they're going to just run the ball. Just run the ball straight at them, man. Tony Pollard is really good. I still think Zeke's got a lot left. I know a lot of people think Zeke is a bum, but I think that the bread and butter on Sunday for this team is going to be to run the ball down their throats, and I think that it's going to happen. While I like the Eagles here, and then I like San Fran here in the NFC, I like Dallas right there, and I would really like to see Dallas take that next step and put on a beatdown performance like what you saw San Francisco do. Just clap this team 38-10. You know what I mean? That, in my mind, will put them in another level, because they still have guys like CeeDee Lamb, who's just not blowing up like everyone thought he would. I mean, is CeeDee Lamb that guy? Everybody coming out of college was like, this is that guy. I still haven't seen it. I haven't seen Stephon Diggs in CeeDee Lamb. I haven't seen Justin Jefferson in CeeDee Lamb. I want to see that, because this guy's got talent. Dalton Schultz, same thing, man. Get this guy the touchdowns in the end zone. They have the weapons. They're a very, very strong team. They should be murdering fools, and I think this is a game where you actually going to see it. I'm going to definitely put Dallas on one of my tickets. I may even take them straight up. -4 to me is not enough here. There's something about Jacksonville that doesn't galvanize me in back-to-back games, because I never see them put on back-to-back performances. Go look at their schedule. They'll have a big win, and then they'll get murdered 3 straight games. Then they'll have a decent win, and they'll get murdered 2 straight games. They're not consistent. Why? Because they just don't have the personnel yet to be consistent. In Jacksonville, decent weather. This should be a no-problem win for Dallas. If Dallas loses this game, in my mind, they are truly suspect going into the playoffs. And I know anything can happen on any given day. We watched the Colts go down there last year needing 1 win.
Yeah.
1 win to get into the playoffs versus a team with no coach and nothing but dissension and they got their shit pushed in. So anything can happen, but I definitely think that Dak will be ready. Mike McCarthy, look, I don't love the guy, but he's done a decent job this year, man. He really has. He knows that Sean Payton is waiting in the wings. He knows. He knows he's coaching for his job every single week, and he knows he has to go far in the playoffs, or Jerry will get rid of him. They'll get him out of there. And so I like Dallas here. I like this best bet. You got it. You need this best bet win, and I need it too. I'm going to hop on this train too. I like Dallas -4 a whole lot. I like Cincinnati -3.5 a whole lot. And I think we're going to see some fireworks this weekend. This is going to be one of the best weekends of football imaginable. Right now, Colts are up 10-0. I like all the dogs today, Spencer. All the dogs. Take the points in all the games. I think these games are going to be closer than people think. The Colts are a terrible team. I could see them beating the Minnesota Vikings today. I think the Vikings are absolute frauds. I think there's no more fraudulent team in the National Football League right now than the Minnesota Vikings. And that's with Kirk Thuggins. That's with Jay Jettas. Their secondary is abysmal. And you win enough one-score games, people will believe anything. But I watched some of these other teams like Dallas we're talking about destroy them this year. Your thoughts on them before we go out?
Yeah, well, they're just the opposite side of the Raiders. The Raiders have lost 4 close games. Minnesota's won 4. So the Raiders could also be in the same place. And if the Raiders had won those close games, they would do nothing, just like the Minnesota Vikings did. It all comes down to those one-score games. Who catches the pass? The guy's foot was in bounds. All of that. Darren Waller catches the pass instead of bouncing it up in the air and losing to Tennessee Titans. That's literally how close it is. I see the Minnesota Vikings and the Raiders as the same exact team. One just won those games. The other one didn't.
1,000% facts. Dexter Reed, World of Matchup. Spencer the Wiz, Blue Milk Boys Gaming. That is Week 15's best bets and more. You guys enjoy the games today. Enjoy the games tomorrow. And we will see you guys next week. Happy holidays.
See ya.